Alrighty guys, 2 miles warm up done. So welcome back to the 4th week of the half marathon training series. I'm Andy, the Forest Team runner. Thank you very much for joining me today. And today is another threshold day, and today it gets tougher. So this week signals the fact that we are a quarter of the way through this plan. Come the long run on Saturday, we'll be a quarter done. The workouts have progressively got hard. I always remember in the first week going, that workout wasn't too bad. And Greg, the high altitude institute training camp owner that wrote the plan that I'm on, said, just beware, it's going to get tougher. And he's not wrong. These weeks have got tougher and tougher. So today on the cards we have, if you remember back to week 2, we did 5 by 1 mile repeats. We have that again today. However, just for fun, we're chucking in 2 200s before that and 2 200s after that. So it's a 6 mile workout in total, with 2 miles warm up, 2 miles cool down. So it's a 10 miler today. So what I'm going to be doing is, if you guys remember the video from week 2, I started at the top end and ran downhill. It's very gently downhill, it's not massive, but very gently downhill, then uphill, then downhill, then uphill, then downhill. So I did 3 down and 2 up. I'm going to flip that round today. I'm going to do 3 up and 2 down, just to make it tougher than it needs to be. But the reason I want to do that is because if you remember last time I went out far too hard. I ran a 5:37 downhill first mile, and that is excessively quick. My arms filled up with lactate. Lucky enough that my body cleared the lactate I had to allow me to finish it, but the workout was far harder than it needed to be and I ran far too hard. So the idea of running uphill is hopefully going to pace myself a bit better. So throwing it out there now before I even run the times, because I will be turning my watch inside out for this workout. What I would like to achieve is on the uphills between 6 and 6:20. I am giving myself a broad spectrum, probably around 6:10 would be ideal, and then the downs 5:50 to 6. That would be amazing. The 5:30s is not necessary. I don't need to do that speed, it's just going to ruin the workout. So basically guys, I am starting down here, as you can see. This is where I was starting my uphill ones at the end there. So I'm going to do my 2 200s along here. So I'm going to go down and up, jog back to the start there, and then I'm going to start my uphill reps from there. So anyway, let's get these 2 200s done, which I'm dreading, and crack on with the 5 by 1 miles. Right, so that's the 2 200s done. A lot slower than normal, not intentional at all, but a 40 and a 39. I am kind of dodging puddles, it's very slippery along here, branches up there. However, doesn't matter, we are running on trails, we expect that, so that's fine. That's the 2 200s done. I'm going to jog it up to here now and start the 1 milers, and we'll see how we get on. But my goodness, that was one hell of a start to a workout. Awesome, rep 1 done, 6:07, on the money. Feel good, form was good, we're going to nail this one today. Second rep downhill done, 5:46. Third rep, 6:09. The heavens just opened and went, no more fast reps for you. We'll throw in some head-on rain and some ridiculously strong wind. That was really tough. Anyway, let's rest, go for number 4. Fourth rep done, 5:50. Happy days. This is really tough, but 1 more to go uphill and then we're done. Oh, As you can see, this is the face of a broken man. I hope you saw those deer, by the way, on that last rep. I just thought, oh, I'll film this little bit. 2 deer ran across. I'll see if I can zoom in and get them. But anyway, another 6:09. That is awesome. That was really tough, I'm not going to lie. After the first rep, when I felt really good, the downhills were tougher. Whether that was because I was putting more pressure on myself to run quicker on the downhills, I don't know. But then the wind kicked in at number 3 and the rain, and I ran a 6:09, 6:50 back down, and then another 6:09 back. And there's a headwind coming up, so that's awesome. I'm really pleased with the consistency. I knew from week 2 I went out too quick. I knew, and I said to you at the beginning, ups between 6 and 6:20, and I got 6:07, 6:09, 6:09, and then downs between 5:50 and 6, 5:46 and 5:50. So I think I found my threshold spot to my pace. Had the watch turned inside like that, so I wasn't watching, and that feels a massive accomplishment to be able to run a successful session like that without continually checking. I was running purely by feel, and we nailed it. So let's go and get these last 200 done just down here, and then 2 miles cool down. That'll be 10 miles and a cracking workout done, and then we shall summarise the first quarter of this training plan. .37 and 39, and that is that. Okay guys, so an update on the injury. All I'm going to say is hopefully this is the last time I have to talk about it, because to be honest with you, since I've seen Chris on Tuesday, he's worked wonders and I feel 99% better. So I walked out of his session on Monday, as you probably saw in the video, in 0 pain. Obviously, as the weeks progressed, being sat back in the computer chair and that sort of thing, slowly things start to seize a bit, but keeping on top of those exercises, guys, twice a day, morning and night, I'm feeling blooming good. And my session this morning, it was 10 miles in total. It was a big old session, and I have 0 niggles off the back of it. So hopefully that is the last you will hear of this injury. I will obviously be continuing my sessions with Chris, but as of next week they will be personal training sessions rather than injury fixing, and I will have about 3, 4, 5 of those before I then stop those and take what I'm doing with him to home. I'll be building up my home exercises that I learn with him and building myself a program basically to keep on top of things. So hopefully this is the last you'll hear of that injury. Right guys, so let's summarise everything. We'll summarise today's workout by quickly saying it was brilliant. Compared to 2 weeks ago when I went out far too hard, I just faded and my reps just kind of like declined in pace. Well, today we held a relatively consistent pace, which is awesome, and I'm really pleased about that. Again, as you saw, span the watch inside my wrist, went on feel, knew I went out too far, so eased back a bit, and I felt good. I knew I'd done a workout at the end. It was so tough, but I didn't blow a gasket in the first rep, which is the main thing. By the 4th one, I wanted to end the session, but we got through it okay. So today's session was ace, but I want to give you a bit more of a generic roundup, because we are, as of this Saturday after the long run, a quarter of the way through the plan, which is insane. I don't know where time's going, and there are 2 things I want to say about that. Number 1 is the mileage I've been doing, but first of all, the one thing I've been working on super hard and I'm seeing improvements on in this whole training plan is cadence. Now for me, and as you guys know, most of you guys know, the reason or the successfulness of speedy runners is having good cadence and a long stride. Those 2 things combined make you a lot more efficient as a runner. I have the stride length because my legs are freaking huge. I do not have the cadence. When I race a 10k, my cadence is around 160. Obviously, a lot of you guys know the optimum is around 180, so that's something I've been working on a lot. Now, I've got a couple of comparisons up in front of me on Strava. Just as an example, my 200 meter rep cadence from week 1 was around 172 to 174. Today they were 180, 176 to 180, so I'm making massive progress, because say massive strides then, massive progress in terms of getting that cadence. I know it's going to be a long battle, I know it's going to be a long process, I'm not rushing it, but if I can increase my cadence overall by an extra 2 to 4 steps a minute by the end of this whole training plan, and I'm racing at maybe 162, 164, then as far as I'm concerned, that's better than any fitness I can do, because I know that's going to make me a much more efficient runner. And as far as mile reps are concerned, my first, from week 2, my mile rep stride length was around 162 to 164. Now I'm getting 166 to 168, even peaking at 170 sometimes. So again, there's this improvement that I'm seeing, and it feels so good, because I know it's the one thing that no matter what you work on with speed and everything, if I can get my cadence up, it's going to make me much more efficient. So I'm delighted. So that's the main thing. I've been overall happy with the first quarter. Obviously the injury setback last week, but we got on top of that. We got to the right people. They fixed me up. Job done. So the mileage has been 39.3 for the first week, 39 for the second week. There should have been a progression there. There wasn't. I wasn't able to get out. In fact, actually, week 1 is the only week where I've run 5 days a week and not 4, because week 2 towards the end was where I started to get injured. So 39 week 2, only 22 last week, because I didn't do the long run. I decided to rest, which is a wise move, and already this week we're on 24.4. I plan to do an 18 miler on the weekend, so I should finish up the week at 42 miles. So we are being nice and consistent. And obviously before that, guys, 4 weeks worth of base building. We got 40.1, 40, 43.6, and then 32. I took a little regression that week in preparation to start, so I got 4 solid good base building weeks up before we jumped into this. So at the moment, guys, it's all going well. I want to just thank you all for watching the video to this far. I really appreciate your comments and feedback. I'm glad you're enjoying this series, because I've had some great comments, and I want to thank you guys for all of your support as always. And you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Follow on with this journey that we are going for the Newport Half Marathon on the 6th of March. As always, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.